This is one of the UK's largest increasing problems, with an estimated number of 14.5 million people living in these circumstances. This is why today I am on the streets of Chichester to get an insight of the public's views on this topic. Poverty is defined in terms of disposable household income. Those who earn below 60% of the median that year are in relatively low income. Now those who earn below 60% of the adjusted median are in the absolute low income. Today I'm joined with Sam and I'll be asking him a few questions. Sam, what are your opinions on adult poverty?
That's clearly a big problem in this country. I think I used to live in London for like 10 years, and the amount of it is quite stark how many homeless people you see. It's really around every corner, and we lived in a place in Tooting where you actually had a family of a mother, son and dad lived on a park bench in the middle of the road, and they refused to move, lived on it with big blankets over themselves. And they just became part of the furniture, sadly, of that area.
And what do you think, personally, the main cause of poverty is?
I'm not too close to it, obviously, really, but I mean, people start going down a path, and what support do they get to sort of deviate that path? And who is on the amount of influences they have for the path they're going down probably outweighs the influences and the people supporting them, trying to get them off it. So is there enough support going to these people, and are they picked up early enough?
How do you think it's changed over the past few years? Roughly 3
I've moved out of London, so I see it less actually in Chichester.
Okay.
This is a place which, in London it was stark, it was everywhere. So I couldn't really comment how it's changed. I think that we don't know what it's going to be like in 6 months' time, but ultimately the problem, I don't know if it's changed, the problem in London especially has always been there. It's stark when you're there. You see it when you really want to notice a homeless person or whatever, you won't stop seeing them. So that's been a long-standing issue which hasn't been resolved for many governments and many generations.
Within the 14.5 million people living in poverty, 2.8 million are working age adults, 2.1 million are pensioners, and 4.3 are children. I am in Chichester College today, where I will be interviewing a few of the students here to gain an insight of what their opinions are on this topic. Do you think poverty has increased or decreased over the past 5 years?
Personally, I think that has increased over the past 5 years, and I think that's going to continue to increase.
It's definitely increased. I think even just yeah,
Definitely.
I think the pandemic will have caused a lot of problems to do with that topic. I can't say for sure. I can't tell you 100% for certain. I think that probably has gone up.
I feel like it's probably increased with the cost of living and everything like that, especially now. And everything seems to be going up and things like that. And I'm no expert in inflation or anything to do with that, but I do feel like it has massively gone up.
How do you think the pandemic has impacted adults who are less fortunate?
I think the pandemic's probably impacted people. Adults and children as well, in the sense that
Just everyone in general.
yeah, in the sense that everybody got furloughed, people weren't earning money. The pandemic brought a lot of mental health issues around for people, especially. So people might have quit their jobs through that.
I feel like it has had quite a big impact because obviously, COVID was a massive thing. When it comes down to it, when people are on furlough and people are being made redundant from their jobs, that's obviously their income's gone, so they weren't able to afford, or maybe not even be able to now afford what they had, like when it comes to like gas, electric and water, and it could be very hard for families, especially bigger families and even smaller families, to keep their home running and like a roof over their heads.
Yeah. And when you hear about, homelessness or people living in poverty, what are your specific feelings on that?
I feel really sad when I see people sitting on the street. If I'm honest, it's very inhumane. It's something that shouldn't happen in society, especially in Western culture, and I don't feel like they are helped enough as it is.
I think a lot of people, including myself, when you say poverty, you think homeless.
Yeah.
I think
living on the streets.
Yeah.
No money, no nothing.
I think that's not the case. Poverty isn't homeless. It's just one of those things that people who are in poverty have less money and so may, end up living on the streets. But it's a lot more than that. It's a lot more sort of to do with food and working or not working and family problems and how many children you have and what benefits you're getting from the government.
Yeah.